going down with your girl Mahogany Brown. We are live. I call this the business table where we sit and we live and we talk and we manifest business. Okay? So we have great entrepreneurs here on the set that's doing phenomenal things in the community. Okay? And one of the requirements to be on here to at least not have just a sole proprietorship. We're going to get into that later. You need to have the LLC. You have to be registered as a corporation or something to legally not always bind yourself to your business, okay? So we're going to start here and tell us more about your business and what you do.
Okay, well, hi, my name is Denisha, and my business is Denisha Cake Desserts. I specialize in custom cakes and all types of different desserts, and I also specialize in Caribbean and Latin food infused.
Oh.
So I do catering with that. Basically, I make everything from scratch. I customize anything you want, any flavor. That's what I do, and I deliver. I have a website, which I'm rebuilding right now because I want to own my own website. So I have someone working on that right now. But anything you need, that's what I can do for you.
Okay, so I want to paint that picture of how we all can connect within business. So with that being said, what would be your favorite Caribbean dish?
Probably jerk salmon.
Okay, and what would be your favorite dessert?
I better off do a dish.
Okay, what's your dish?
Curry chicken.
Okay, curry chicken. Okay. All right, so you see how that connection happened that quick within our network right here on the surface.
Absolutely.
Eric, tell us about what you do. We need a whole day because this man is just amazing for what he stands for and the pillar that he's created in our society.
Absolutely.
Just run down who you are as a whole.
Eric Randall. A lot of people know me as CEO Be Easy or Be Easy or Lil E, whatever you want to call me, depending on how long you know me. But family man, I own Be Easy Clothing Company. August will be 14 years in business. Appreciate
We
that.
gotta celebrate each other.
Also, founder Be More Soulful nonprofit in the works. I didn't get my 501c3 yet, but it is registered with my FEIN with the government, so that's my second registered.
And we want to break all that down.
Business.
Yes.
And that's going on. We'll talk about that later. Motivational speaker, life coach, partner at Credit Sweepers LLC, preaching financial wellness and the benefits of personal and business credit, and pretty much all around community activist, philanthropist. Just really want to see the city, be shining on in a different light.
I love the way you tap in different platforms and allow different revenue and profits to come in and have multiple streams of income. We're gonna definitely talk about that later. Multiple streams of income. How important is that?
Hey,
Okay, and I want you to run down yourself, I'm Robert, and tell me who you are and what you stand for and how many businesses you have.
So my name is Robert A. Douglas. I'm the CEO of Radical Productions LLC and Robert A. Douglas LLC. Basically, outside of myself, so I'm an author, filmmaker. I do all those things.
Hold on, don't run it down so fast.
Right.
Author, filmmaker, but
author, filmmaker. But what my main focus is, Radical Productions, is helping artists like my little brother who's doing music and other artists that are authors and filmmakers own their products.
Okay.
My charge is independent ownership with Radical Productions. So I have a few authors that I've worked with to help them keep ownership of their product, teaching them the game of writing, right, and what big publishing companies look for, and how they can keep their ownership. So that's what our focus is, in addition to publication and other things like that.
Awesome. So I guess my biggest image or platform I want to create for my audience is with the term business. I'll have you go first. The term business. What did the term business mean to you?
Business for me was basically owning everything that I do as far as all my products, my website, for instance, just everything that entails me making my own money and providing for myself. That was my business as far as what it meant for me.
Okay, Eric, what does the term business mean to you?
Business means handling yourself in a manner where you can help others provide for themselves. To me, true business isn't defined until you help somebody else grow.
Okay. I guess if I would decide the term, it's a mutual beneficial partnership where I deliver to you the goods and services you need to satisfy yourself, and we both make a gain, whether it's financial or on our personal gain. And how about yourself?
For me, I guess business is passion. just because of the amount of work it takes to actually run a business successfully. It's something that you definitely have to be passionate about. So for me, business is like, that focus on your passion, whatever that is.
Okay, I want to get out the traditional question Q&A stance. I want us to all to tap into each other, because a lot of times with the business we don't clock out. It's right. 367 days of the year, 8 days of the week. We never clock out. So with that being said, when you first started your first idea of business, what was your kind of common goal that you wanted to make? Or was it a monetary goal, or just, I want to impact my community? Anyone can just jump out there and go first.
Well, my business I'll jump out there. My business kind of happened out of passion. I was homeless when I wrote my first book. And I didn't have any business being homeless, but second of all, I didn't have any intentions on writing a book either. I was just writing to kind of vent about my life, and then friends were telling me that, I should turn it into a book. And when I pitched it to big publishing companies, they were like, this is great, but, your target audience, which was African-American boys, they don't read. So let's turn this into a fiction novel and let African-American women read it.
Target audience.
I wasn't comfortable with that. And that's what made me passionate about owning my product.
You said a key component.
Yeah.
Target audience.
That's vital.
Target audience. Who's your target audience right now?
My target probably would be everybody, because everybody eats, everybody loves desserts, so I don't discriminate with nobody. I target to everybody. Now, I will say, depending on what event or what function I'm going to, of course, I target whatever I'm cooking or baking towards them, as far as what I feel they may like or what the feedback I got from them. I target directly to them, but everybody eats.
So sometimes you change your demographic.
Yes, I do, because I do between here and DMV. So I do a lot of my events in DC, and was a Bowie and all that. I traveled that far.
I want to
even
speak
to Virginia.
On that. DC, how you can mark up.
Yes, I do actually.
About 30 minutes down the road.
I do.
You can do a markup of almost 50%. Sometimes 100%. I mean, I think Nelly Nell did it when he did his party. When he sold, he's not even from DC. That business, that target market, and expanding your target market. I think one of my biggest phrases I learned in 2018 that allowed me to manifest it to 2019. Your net worth is only as big as your network. So if you continue to just centralize and stay in Baltimore, and you expect your family and friends just to support you, you will never make it here, just here alone. You got to tap into other networks to kind of manifest and grow. And I know you've seen that different process, being in business for 14 years. Can you speak a little bit more on that?
On which aspect of it? As
far as your local community, not just supporting you, got to kind of expand outside of that.
Oh, well, absolutely. I feel on the fence about that.
Okay.
Majority of my support comes from the city.
And that's a different standpoint. A lot of people say...
Well, it's all about your product. I feel like it doesn't matter really where you are. It's how you sell it and then how you stand behind it. So majority of my sales come from people in Baltimore City, and that's why the majority of the things that I make say something about Be More or Baltimore itself. Even the shirt I got on says Be More Like Us, Maryland. It doesn't say Baltimore, Maryland.
You started that brand. Be More Like Us.
Yeah, 9 years ago.
What was your passion behind it?
Doing what people said was the impossible. But it's just bringing us together to show the city and us together to show the city in a different light. And then when you travel, having a sense of home pride rather than saying, I need to get away from here. Everybody wants to get away from here, but me, when I go places, I'm like, I want the whole world to know that,
Baltimore.
I'm from Baltimore.
I remember being in Las Vegas, and I was in the crowd going to Dre's nightclub, and you know how you go to the party bus tours. And everyone from the party bus tours said where they're from. I'm from Nevada. I'm from Chicago. Chicago was a big presence. And they was, even though the deaf read, they were rapping hard Chicago. And I said, I'm from Baltimore. That was a time like when the Freddie Gray, time. And they were like, Baltimore. They cringe.
I went to Jamaica and they did that right when the first riot happened.
Yeah.
All the way in Jamaica, they literally was like, "Oh, you from Baltimore?" They was scared. And I'm like, "Are you?" It was crazy. It
But I don't think we talk about the diversity, the cultural, the artists we have in Baltimore. A lot of cities don't have a port. A lot of cities don't have the food, the resources that we tap into. So we all are from Baltimore. I would agree with you're from Baltimore. You're from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. So paint the image of you being a child and how you progress to now today. Anyone can go. Yeah.
What's the question?
You were a child and how you progressed to a business owner today.
Growing up, be honest, I didn't really see a whole lot of like black owned business around where I grew up in Randallstown, mainly in like all Baltimore County. It's not a lot of people who was like, yeah, we're gonna have our own business and stuff like that. Even with my business, I've always had a passion for food, always loved everything about it, and I've always wanted to be a chef. That was my dream growing up, and I kind of fell into it and was like, this is what I was supposed to be doing. So for me, in my mindset, I always like, I want to be able to do something for myself. I always wanted to own. So it was.
You stepped into it.
Yeah, I stepped into it. It was to me. It was simple. You need to have your own business. This is what you've always wanted to do. So do it.
Hey Eric, how would you paint just your image as being a child or a product of the Baltimore City streets, and now being a business owner with multiple businesses, with multiple streaming incomes, and being successful?
As a child, I've seen way too many things I wasn't supposed to see, even though I had a great upbringing. It was really like my teenagers. I was pretty sheltered. Like my grandma, my aunt. I was like a latchkey kid, so I was like always like in the house by myself, studying, doing homework. You know, like
You stayed in the house?
yeah, a lot other than when I came out to play sports.
Yeah, oh,
like
no,
I love
you
sports.
try to, touch to come outside. Like, mommy.
Nah, I didn't play that. Like I knew my grandma was gonna be smoked if I was supposed to be in the house and I wasn't.
You ain't play
and
with them, but
then
you
ain't had
learned
no
they
cell
time.
phones or no
Right,
pages
right,
back then.
right,
You talking
right.
about the '90s, so
Pop up.
if they gotta really come and find you, it's gonna be
Oh,
smoke.
in your way.
So yeah, so I wasn't with none of that. I was where I was supposed to be, but it wasn't really until I became a teenager and I started being a little bit promiscuous that I started, trying to see the world, what they try to protect me from. And then, kind of got caught up. But now transitioning, into another chapter in my life, it's different. Like, I want everybody to win. Like, when the main difference is when I came out, I wanted to win. I wanted to be, make it and not have my parents. I wanted to have the luxury cars, the women, and all that stuff. And now it's like, nah, how can I help the next person, grow and manifest into their own direction? I mean, I can't make them successful, but I can definitely help steer their ship or get their car, back on track. And that's the main difference. Individual goals versus, wanting to see everybody win.
That's good that you saw that like early on in life. I think my big break was being at City. I grew up in Baltimore City, over West Side, Lafayette, at Bentlow, where drugs was a large population. That kind of, you being a drug dealer girlfriend was like making it in around our way, or you riding in the BBS's with the new Benz, and he called you and he's just paying attention to you. You made it there. But when I walked up that hill at Baltimore City College, it was so many different diverse, but they were my color. They were nerdy. They were artsy. They were influential. They had different talents. They were painters. They were writers. They were actors, and they brought too many different inspirations from me. And I'm like, my people is greater than what I know when I walk out that door in West Baltimore. All they know is selling drugs, and if I sell the most drugs, I could be on top, and I'm the man, and that's making it. Having the latest tennis shoes, having the dimed out gold chain, riding in the best car, effing the baddest girl with the tightest booty, because big booties wasn't big. You had to have a tight, muscular, tone boot. That was making it, and that's all I inspired to be. But when I went to school, we tapped into Macbeth. We read How to Kill a Mockingbird, and it tapped into my intellectual knowledge, and I realized I thirst for more than this. It's something outside of my society that's more in this. So then I got intrigued to how can I tap into something greater than my environment that I know, and I was introduced to the idea of business. How about yourself?
I guess for me, I grew up with a lot of guys that had a lot of talent. They were phenomenal guys. I was always like the run of the group, but I was the only one that could articulate myself. So for me, giving people a voice, like giving a voice to the voices or being a voice for the voices, is what really drove that passion. Even like, cause sometimes I just want to give up on it, just forget it. The work that goes into this is like, nah. But then it's like,
It's
you
hard.
remember, that there are a lot of people that can't even speak up and articulate for themselves just how they feel, right? And just how systemic and suppressive life can be, right? And circumstances can be. And so I dedicate my life to doing that. It's more about passion for me than business, right? Because my target audience they aren't going to pay me, right? The people that are trying to access my target audience are who going to pay me, right? But I can't make them my target audience. Black men, black males, brown males, they still have to be my target audience, right? Because I'm advocating, I'm their voice. But the people that want to reach them are going to be the ones that pay me.
Okay,
So,
you see how that works?
You have to split the two sometimes and say, this is where my money's going to come from, but this is where my influence is going to come from. So just focusing on being that voice for people and being able to say, this guy could have been in the NFL if he could have passed the SAT, but 12 years of school failed him, right?
Okay.
Or not even NFL, he could be a bit whatever, right? Is what really helped push me into where I am today.
Okay. I love it. Okay, so we all are registered business owners, okay? The biggest thing is you can register under different sole proprietorship, LLC, a general partnership, different entities, a corporation, an incorporation. When register your business, tell us about that process of registering, getting the business bank account, and the adversity, not necessarily you kind of had to face, but the tools you had to put in place to have your documents right to be prepared for business.
Well, I started off not having my LLC at first.
Okay.
And I had my bank account. I had all that. But
So you had a business bank account.
Yeah, but it was under my name.
So you had your name. You had a personal bank account.
Yeah, it had my name and it had
She
like
was
the
the
business.
LLC.
You was a sole proprietorship.
Yes, at first I was. And
Okay.
Recently, I finally, because I kept saying I'm gonna do it when I had this. Or
Anyone
when I
wants
do
to
this or
define
whatever.
the sole proprietorship?
It's a business where you are the sole
You're responsible.
employee.
Yeah.
I can see you.
You don't hire anyone else.
I'm
you
working
don't have
it
any issue,
100%.
right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sole responsibility for it.
So
Right, that's the worst, but sometimes the best. It depends on what aspect
doing, yeah.
or what you're doing and how you cover yourself.
Yeah, because for a while I wasn't like, I was doing my business, I was doing the cakes and that, but it wasn't like a money like, oh, I'm making tons of money, so I need to have my LLC. But eventually it's to the point where I'm like, I want everything to be legit. I'm doing okay. So like maybe like a couple weeks ago, I literally finally got my LLC and I changed my bank account to my business bank account with the LLC attached with all that tax ID and all that great stuff that goes with it. So I'm official. Everything's in the books. Thank you, Jesus.
You gotta be official. A lot of times we try to represent ourselves as a business, as a brand, but we can't sit at our tables because we don't have our documents in order. And I also say that to individuals who rap. You want to be a rapper, but that's a business entity. You got to have an LLC. You got to have a business bank account. You got to have a mission statement. What are you doing to kind of put yourself in the forefront? When you register your business, and what kind of tools or things you put in place to kind of be legit, as you would say?
I don't sugarcoat nothing. I ain't have my stuff in order, just like her. I didn't have a bank account when I started my business.
Right, it be like that.
I mean, that textbook stuff sounds cool.
It does.
I'll say this. I prefer, when it comes to that, for it to be done in a textbook way so that you don't run into issues with the state and things like that and taxes. And there's different breaks you can get if you can track your books. But when I started out, I was dealing with a girl and her sister was a paralegal. And I just was like, I want to do a clothing company. It was just like some random stuff. And she got her sister to drum up all the paperwork.
So articles of organization?
All that was done for me.
Okay.
Through a strong
Lawyers
black
charge
sister.
$1,500 for that.
Yeah, so I got that. I think they charged me like $180.
Okay.
For everything. It was like a lookout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For dealing. And that's the gift in a strong black woman, that sees your vision.
That greatest tool.
And she registered for me, and I didn't know you had to file like personal property tax every year. I didn't know
It's
nothing.
stuff you don't
I just
know.
knew how to make money. Like I just knew how to sell clothes.
Right.
And then it wasn't until the business got forfeited, and then I didn't even know that. I went to start filing taxes on it. Still never having a business bank account. I just hustle and flow. This is like shoebox
That
flow.
process.
And they was like, "Oh, your business for?" I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what does that mean? It's forfeit." And then, I found out years later, and then it was 3 of us on the original documents. Me, my god brother,
So you got a
and one of
general
my
partnership
homeboys. Yeah,
at
we had a
first.
partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. And then when I hired an accountant, he broke it down to me. Shout out Black Accountant. Shout out
Yes,
to him.
that's essential.
Anderson and Company,
Have an
Owens
accountant on your
Mills,
team.
and
A
they
good one.
they basically taught me the game, and I ended up turning into an LLC. So that therefore, if somebody sued my business, it wouldn't be attacking me like a sole proprietorship. It would fall on the entities of the business. And then I opened up a business bank account. I redid my articles and learned the game, paid all my back property tax, and then.
So
got
first you
myself
mean
back
I
free.
know, and there's a lot of people out here that's in our audience that just don't know. I have a great idea. I want to make some money. I'm gonna get out here in the community, make some money. My man's down the street following me, but they're not teaching you the legitimate fundamentals of how to run a business, how to get capital, how to get have an executive statement to present to the banks about what's your target marketing, and how you're going to pay that money back. Get a business bank account. You can go to irs.gov and get an EIN that's free, and now you're in business. A lot of people just don't know the basic fundamentals of kind of starting a business, and that's what I want to get together. A lot of times we don't know how powerful we are as a unit because we started a business in our community. We're not taught about finances. We're not taught about credit. We're not taught about none of that. And I know you're big on credit. We're taught, hey, you go and the bank offer us a certain amount of money and we want to take that. But what are we supposed to do with that? It's a formula that they pre-released way before any of us been here. A formula that they have already defined. But they don't tell us the formulas. They just give us the funds.
Well,
I think-
the history of credit. I'm sorry.
No,
I thought
please
you were
stop.
done. So, just a quick run through of credit. Credit was created in the early 1900s. I say post World War II, and it was based off of how long you've been at a job.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, if you've been at the market for 6 years, you should pretty much have good credit because
trust
you got a check.
You got a check coming, right?
And you pay your bills.
But then let's just say, without trying to get too deep, one day realized that
Hold on, we can get
we
deeper
were
than this.
establishing jobs. Oh, it's deep. And when we established jobs and stuff, they created an algorithm based off of Fair Isaac and Company. And now that's what we refer to as FICO, Fair Isaac and Company. And the FICO system was created, and it was said that based off of certain set criteria, like late payments, credit cards, that you would have a projected score between 300 and 850, which is still the range for today. And that score would indicate how well you do with other people's money. Your credit. It's like I tell people it's like street credit.
Right.
How well do you do with something that's
given
given to you. And then people start clicking to it, like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then it wasn't, but then still we weren't really a credit-based society because, like you said, we really weren't taught these financial things, nor did we have access to a lot of things we had access to because of the color of our skin, even after desegregation, because we were still mentally enslaved. And so it wasn't until like the early 2000s that then they created like the Vantage score, and I ain't trying to go deep, but there's multiple scoring systems, and then you started kind of seeing commercials about. No, that's new.
Yeah,
but you like in the early 2000s, you was like one of the first times you actually started seeing like credit commercials,
right?
Like something about credit. Just the word credit period really wasn't talked about in the 90s or the 80s amongst, at least I know I'm 30 something. And then as it went on, they changed the algorithms again, the contents of what creates the score, and then started saying, well, now that people know about it, we're going to make it where it's just like college.
The status quo.
That, if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to attain it. So it's like, okay, you can have access to your credit, you can see it for free, whatever, but until you pay these debtors or until you do these things that you still don't even know about, you can't get a house, you can't get a car. And then we're so misinformed, we're like, I ain't worried about it. Let me just go run up a check. I'll just go and buy my car in cash. I'll just go and this and cash. And then we started getting a cocky attitude towards it because we didn't understand it. And that's typically what we do as a race when we don't understand it. We just say, I don't care. It's like love. I don't know. Shorty cheating on you? I don't know. I don't care. Because that's the hard up. That's why we're taught to be. We're taught to be hard up to it when the whole time, that's why we were left in the dust. I just actually had a conversation with a local celeb before I came here. We just vibing, and they made a statement that when they go to the auctions for houses, not the car auction,
Okay.
When they go to the auction
That's
houses,
a whole nother.
there's really not any black people there. There's typically Asians there, white people there,
But it's an
Koreans,
open
Jews,
market.
but there's no black people there. But we're at the dealerships, we're at the clubs.
And I had that
we're at the-
conversation.
you know, we're at all the stuff that doesn't
I think
matter.
the conversation I had was, we rep East Side, we rep West Side so hard, but do we own any property here?
No, I'll do you one better. While we okay, you're in a gang, and this is the last thing I'll say because I want everybody
No,
to
I
get
mean,
this out.
of course.
We're in the gang, right? And we're saying this my hood, this my block, 3,800, 3,600,
What you
1,300,
own.
800,
Right.
and we ready to die for it. Legit blood being slain
Hardcore
on it.
ride that die.
But we don't
Own
own nothing on the
nothing.
block.
I will say in 10 years.
Or this one better.
Right.
You don't even know how to spell the block.
Take pictures of it. But I'll say in 10 years, the block that we own, that we rep so hard, you won't be able to walk a black person down Green. You won't be wanted there. You'll be uncomfortable down Green Mount. You're gonna be uncomfortable walking down North Avenue in 10 years. You're gonna be uncomfortable walking in Drew Hill Park in 10 years. That same park we used to go to every Sunday with the flies cars, with the baddest. Every Sunday, you're gonna be uncomfortable there. We don't buy our area, but we rep it so hard. And that's a big problem for my community. You rep in West Baltimore for what? Because your grandmother lived there 30 years? But she got reverse mortgage. Because you ain't paying her nothing to live there. So I just want to talk about, I don't want to get kind of geared on towards the gentrification of the Baltimore city. I want to gear towards how can we build each other up. If you know me, my motto is each of us need all of us. I can't do it without you. She can't do it without you. We need all of us to survive. So how would you kind of inspire that entrepreneur that want to start their business? What would you say to them? I'll let you go first.
Well, I would say one, if you're not ready for hard work, long hours, it ain't for you. I would definitely say that because it's a lot of hard work. Basically, you need to have a passion for something and ready to be, to go running for it. Basically, I just hard work is what you're gonna need and be focused on it because it's not easy having your own business and be smart and like I said, network with other people to be able, to help you because I wish I had some people to help me when I first started out because maybe I wouldn't be as lost when I was going through it or unfortunately.
What's some adversity you face?
Okay, so one, because I still feel some kind of way about it. I trusted. I had like you said something about someone doing your taxes. I was
Homegirl hookup.
No, actually, a friend of mine introduced me to someone who did taxes, a woman who owned her own tax company. I was all for supporting our black companies. Well, I was with her for 5 years, and let's just say she kept telling me not to do my LLC for a while. And I listened to her.
To not claim it? Okay.
And come and find out, I probably should have did my LLC because now I owe because of her.
Oh, wow.
Because I wasn't...
Misinformation.
It was a lot of misinformation, a lot of stuff that I probably should have done that I didn't do because I was listening to her. So that's one thing I would tell somebody: have good people in your corner that knows the business, and and look out. Look when somebody's telling you to do something. Look at the paperwork because I was trusting her, like saying, "Hey, this is her avenue. Taxes is not my avenue." I didn't always look over my paperwork to make sure what she said was on there was actually on there because I found out it was not.
You gotta read.
Yeah, so I was reading some, but I was not reading everything. So that's one thing I definitely would tell. Read your paperwork. Make sure your stuff is in order. Make sure it's correct. That's definitely because I learned the hard way and I'm still, working through that. So that's definitely something I would tell somebody who wants to own their own business. Make sure you have your stuff in order.
Okay. How about you, Eric?
She said so much.
I love it.
Tell me the core of the question because I want to make sure I don't do too much.
For entrepreneurs just starting out, what key or essential tools would you give them or give some advice to give them to start their business?
Because I was fluent. I understood her. It's just to understand that most of the people you have supporting you in the beginning probably not going to be there in the end.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Say it again.
Most of the people that's supporting you in the very beginning are probably going to be the ones that's supporting you the least in the end.
Ooh. That one hit.
And once you understand that and you accept that,
one
I think
hit.
it'll
I'm in my feelings right now.
I know that's really triggers
No,
everybody because that's typically what happened to everyone.
I'm in my feelings.
Oh my God, my homegirl! I can't believe all the times
Never
I let her stay in
showed
my
up.
house.
Best friend.
She ain't come up to my event and all that. Let it go.
You have to.
Let it go.
Really did.
It
Let
has
go.
nothing to do with business. I think my first event, and I love to shout out Facebook because it allowed me to tap in to millions of people that I do not even know. It's a phenomenal tool, and if you use it for what it's and you need to use it for, you can make a lot of money from it. It allows you to tap in people that you don't even know and have access to people that you would never typically meet in a bar. There's a large population that don't go out.
The crazy thing is most of my customers is actually in DC and Virginia.
Yeah.
Like I would say, I have customers here in Baltimore, but a lot of mine is like College Park, DC,
Lanham, Bowie,
all
Laurel.
those, yeah.
Oh, great
A lot of people
profit.
was real surprised, and that's why I said
Jessica
when I
White said she know you.
Okay.
said, so I have customers here, but I tend to kind of cater more towards that area because that's
You
what
can
my
mark
market,
up.
and
It's
that's
a
why I'm
lot
making
more
the
money.
Yeah.
But you know the average income in DC
Yes.
is a lot more. They got a lot of federal employees. It's a great melting pot, and they understand business.
I got a lot of heat off for that though because everybody said, "Why you don't do a lot of events here?" And I'm like, "Well, unfortunately, I hate to say I don't make as much money here doing events as I do in DC." So
Well, can I say this to you?
yeah,
Please.
A lot of I'm gonna keep it brief because this probably gotta say something. But in business, what I learned is if you're gonna have a diverse target market, like how you said, it kind of alternates depending on what's going on. You have to create things that you reach the same amount of profit with lower price points. That's the real key. So now I'll just give you a quick example of me, like, because I'm saying you never purchased anything from me. I don't believe neither has this brother yet. But I sell shirts. Let's just say just my shirts. Like, we're not even gonna go through the whole spectrum of what I sell. And I might sell, my average shirt might be like $25. Just on the average, like regular everyday stuff, for the everyday person, regardless to what I got on the high end and the low end. But then I created in February a $5 shirt.
Ooh.
You
I want to
understand
get
what
it.
I'm saying?
You
but,
gotta.
but you gotta pre-order it
Okay.
the month that of it, and then you get it the next month. So you gotta have a little patience because you gotta remember it's only $5. But the quality of it
Same.
is the same, and my profit margins are the same. It's just less money because obviously, it's a lower price point. So I just say that to say
You gotta talk.
I got a bigger support group because now I'm tapping into all revenues. I got the
markets.
people who like shopping at Walmart, plus the people who are okay with spending their money on, just looking nice anyway. And then I got a whole nother line for people who won't wear stuff that's too cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
just
got the
because
whole
it's $5,
scope,
they
but
ain't gonna buy.
every price
It's
point,
those people.
even if it was $68, it was mathematically made up to be a certain profit margin, so that no matter what,
That's
I
so
was
important.
never losing any money. It just would
The
be a
different
slow grind
angles.
versus a bigger. So
Yeah.
that's just a tip for me to you,
Yeah.
like, so that you won't, discredit yourself, because obviously you got to survive, right? Even if you got to make a cupcake, right? Learn that, okay, even if you put in X amount of eggs and X amount of butter in the head, create one that's half the size. That's a mini.
That's $1.
That's a, you know what I'm saying? So now you got
And-
people who
and
like,
a whole nother market.
yo, so
That's how
just something to
you get
think
it.
about.
Yeah.
And this is a formula that I learned a long time ago. And not a long time ago. I just recently learned it within, I guess, the last 6 months. It's small hits all the time. That's the angle to success. If you try to get that $20,000 contract every day, it's not necessarily the guarantee. But if you can get 2,000 people to buy one item at $1 every day, you're making $2,000. Nobody worry about that person spending $1. But you got the masses. It's small hits, a little bit at a time. They kind of make you successful. And when you figure that out, even with your steady customers in a bar, or even with your small customers that, I'ma always get your new item that comes out, or your new brand, them small loyal customers that your target is just $10, but you know for a fact your target audience is going to spend at least $10 or at least $1 all the time. So introducing that product, even if it's a cupcake of the day. Hey, a cupcake of the day is a miniature cupcake of the day. This is a lemon cupcake. You can find me here, Radio on Fire, 25th Street. Pull up. You can get $1 cupcake right now. It's that marketing and that branding all the time. Small hits. Nobody worry about no dollar. But if 50 people show up, that's just $50.
What's gonna happen is they get hooked on the $1 ones. They'll eventually buy the more.
Let me get some more.
ones.
Yeah, let me get a bigger one.
It happens all the time.
It's that hook and rail.
And that's why
That
I
was
tried
a
to
great
do sales
business.
to do that. So yeah.
But I'm just saying, add something to your menu that's
Yeah.
permanent, that isn't as high as the other stuff.
I definitely want to shout out to Ebony Gaynor, Black Professional Men in Eat Black Baltimore event. We're going to talk about that Saturday. But I want to talk to you about what inspiration would you give to a black professional business, not necessarily black, just a business owner, because my motto is each of us, me, all of us.
Regardless of religious background, right? King James wanted to build the biggest church for God, right? And he felt that God was telling him to build the people, and somebody else would come and build the building. His focus was always building the building. I'm going to build the biggest building for God, right? The biggest temple. It's going to be dope. But he was missing the key element of building the people. And sometimes building the people comes in loss of profit. You feel what I'm saying? 80% of businesses fail within the first 3 years because of that very thing. Because they don't build the people first.
They want to build.
Right? They want the building. So same thing Eric was talking about, right?
Jules, he kicking right
I
there.
don't, you know, I didn't get my LLC first, right? I trademarked my name so nobody could take it, and then I started hustling to build people. You want to buy my book, $5, $2, $3, $10, right? And then when you build an audience, and the provision is made to start to build your business, right? You have the funds to be able to do that. You're not taking out of your household. You're not taking out of your income, right? You're allowing your business to be built because, you know, I built my business on a wise saying that said you never test the depths of water with both feet, you know? So you want to build that audience first to a place where it says like, now I gotta have somewhere to house these people, you know, not physically, but whatever, right? Like, you know, I gotta house my shirts, you know, I gotta house my supplies for my services, right? Being able to build that core foundation before you start to build on the business aspect, because a lot of times we focus on the business aspect and wanting to be legitimate. I wasn't legitimate for a lot of years. I've been doing this for 9 years, right?
That's so important. We all fall
you
short.
know, you just gotta be real, right? Like,
I just got a business bank account. Like,
you know, I did it until I couldn't do it anymore, and then it was like, okay, now I know that, you know, I'm able to jump into this water, right? I've tested it long enough. So that would be my perspective, hone in on that target audience, right? And even you, I would suggest that, particularly because even in very specified cuisine, it's still prepared different ways, right? Like Indian curry isn't the same as Jamaican curry, right? So to be able to specify who specifically do I want to hit, right?
Target audience.
Like specifically, I know a lot of people love Jamaican food. I know it's food, but who specifically, right? Who specifically do I want to wear my shirts? I want everybody, but who specifically do I want to wear? Who would I be proud of when I see that shirt on that chest? Instead of saying like, oh, who's that guy? Where did he get my shirt from? Right? I think that's the core in being successful in business.
Product placement.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that I was going to say that people often forget is focus groups. So rather than, see, a lot of times we get caught up in our opinion because it's our dream, our baby.
Of course, right.
It's like, you know, if you go to the store and get that outfit for your baby, you know before you put on your baby gonna be fly because you already conceptualized that outfit gonna kill him.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So when somebody else, like say you go to your family house and they be like, oh, that's kind of cute. And you like, kinda, like, boy, you know my baby killing it. But that's how it is with business. So sometimes we get wrapped up in our own ideals and our own conceptions because we have a steady base.
Always be ready for change.
When, like, so on Facebook, I created a group called Be More Like Us. And what it is, rather than focus on my other 4,300 friends is not in my group, potentially, right? That don't want to be part of my focus group. I have 800 something friends
just for
that don't mind me tagging them, don't mind saying it, don't mind offering opinions. Even if they don't buy it, they're responding, they're letting me know. And so I'm saying, oh, okay, so this shirt with this design is trash, so I'll make this a limited collection, clearance that, but then I'll take that design and put it on the color that y'all want to see, and now I can't keep it in stock.
That's so important.
You gotta
that's
be
so
able
important.
to switch
Focus
up
group.
Because I mean that's so important, right? Because 9 years ago I started out writing books, right? And today I'm still writing books, but I deliver them now in the form of YouTube.
Okay.
Right. So
you gotta feed it to them.
I still have to write. Like, it's still in me. Right? But
formula.
now I have to write scripts instead of writing a book and saying, "Hey, sit down and read this." That's not the reality of our world today.
Read it to you.
Right? We don't have the time to just sit
Nobody
down and
YouTube
just
all the time. More than cable.
Right.
My
I
daughter,
would love
she's
to
1
have
year
the time
old.
to just
She's
read,
know how to
right?
skip the
But
ad.
and she doesn't even know how to read. She
No,
can get
she know how
exactly,
to skip the ad and
go exactly what she wants
What
to go to.
is ridiculous?
Right?
Tap
So
into
you
that.
have to be able to do exactly what you said. Say, "I love this shirt," but it's not doing what it's supposed to do, right? I love writing books. I wish people would sit down and just read it, because I write some dope stuff that I can't deliver verbally.
Right.
If I can get you to read it in your own emotions and in your own thoughts, it will hit you. I know it will hit home, right? But that's not a reality about today. So I got to shift modes, just like he talked about, right? And say, I gotta put this in a collector's edition for somebody who does want a book. But right now I gotta deliver these videos every week, right? So my passion has to go behind writing scripts now, as opposed to books, right? And you just got to be able to make
The
that
switch
shit
up. It's the
different.
same
You have to
product,
be able to.
repackaged, rebranded, and renamed, and put it in a whole different
sometimes
form.
you get a whole better crowd because you weren't scared to do it. And I think that's the last thing I really want to say outside of, being asked the question
Of course.
stop being scared of growth. I love making t-shirts. I do. It's just my thing. Like, I feel like I kind of have that down packed as far even the quality of it. It's softer for females versus a little tougher for men. Dry fit, here and there. Before you put that shirt on, I know it's going to fit you a certain way. I know where to put the letters. I know women with large chests, if it's going to cup under your cut. Like, I know it's
The art of it.
Yeah. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta just go and do something different, and not be scared to say, okay, all women don't want to wear t-shirts. Some of them like tank tops. Some of them like tank top dresses. Some of them they just like to be naked. So you gotta make sports bras. You gotta make headbands. You gotta make a set. So I don't like the man bag thing. I don't. But it's hot. So I would make a man bag and let them wear it how they want. Who am I to judge your style? So that's what I'm saying. You can't, and that kind of still goes back to my first point. You can't just say because you don't like it that somebody else wouldn't like it. So even though it's your brand, if you want your brand to be marketed a certain way, you can't be scared of growth.
I love the idea of we talking about branding. We as you see, we're transitioning to different parts of businesses. So as far as branding, I am a promoter in the Baltimore City community. I think I've earned that right to say that. The events I've done, and but outside of being a promoter, I wanted to have something unique to identify as my own. So as you known for your desserts, and you're known for your clothing, apparel, and credit, and you're known for writing the books, and I wanted to be unique, identify for something of my own. So that's why I came up with the lip sync battle. The lip sync battle. No one kind of in Baltimore was kind of tapping into that lip sync battle, but it was already here during the drag queen community, but it wasn't kind of tapped into us on our social community. They've been doing that since the beginning of the time. That's the burlesque shows that they go to that you pay for brunches, but I wanted to kind of tap into that. So when I tap into that lane, it did phenomenal of being in that lane. So I wanted to, so many promoters in Baltimore City, they have their own unique thing. I guess Fly White for that white party. It's kind of owning your brand and being recognized for what you are. And next time someone do it, oh, Mahogany did that, So I want to just say, what's your unique niche within your brand, within your business that kind of separates yourself above anybody else?
For me, I would definitely say yes. Most people know me probably for my desserts, but as far as what makes me special for me is I don't feel like no one is doing Caribbean and Latin food. Everybody thinks when you say Caribbean food is just Jamaican food. No,
You change your accent.
Every time she said it.
I know. Are you in the Caribbean culture?
Yes, I'm half Cuban and Trini. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I heard about the kick over. It's the
I
second time.
like that. So you got to celebrate your niche,
I love everything about Caribbean food. Caribbean food is not just Jamaican. For me, I feel blessed because I can do Caribbean, I can do Jamaican, I can do Trini, I can do Puerto Rican, I can do everything. Yes, I do, and for me, I infuse all of those Caribbean cultures in one dish. You're not gonna get anything like you can go to Jamaican, you can go get Spanish food, but you're not gonna find anything.
So when can I get some?
Right?
You gotta follow me. I would love to cook. I would cook for everybody because I love everything.
Oh, no,
Watching
I'm
somebody
you.
that is fine.
No, I'm super serious.
he talk, you better listen.
I am. For me, for my dinners, I do it at least once a month because the bacon part.
We want a unique,
Yes.
to his crew, a unique dish, and that'll set you on a different platform. We're big on connecting and motivating each other and pushing each other out.
I will.
If it's good, it's good.
I promise you, it's good.
Okay.
That's one thing, hands down. I have been cooking since I
I
was
saw
little.
you at all our different events, and you know what I gotta say? You always sell out.
Yes, I do. I'm very blessed for that.
You've been with me through Page Use. You've been with me through my R&B only first.
Yep.
You've been with me through Eat Black Baltimore.
Yep.
I want to thank you for your support.
Thank you for letting me come out.
All right.
I ain't thanking you nothing until I get a dish.
No problem.
Nobody.
Be easy. Tell me about your niche. What makes you unique in business?
At this point in my life, I gotta keep saying that because there's many different phases in me. But this new growth, this new direction I don't want to do anything. I'm going towards, right?
I'm on your bus.
Now it's. I think I understand the universal language.
You got a Stevie J look. You're on your bus.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus Christ. No, I just want. I feel like I'm uniquely me. I think that's my niche. Like I feel like I can fit in with the hustlers.
Ooh,
I
see
you know
that.
I can speak. I can throw on a suit
you
if
were
I want
dancing.
to, and sit right next to the politicians and talk about use big words like ambidextrous and all that stuff. I can
Being
go
versatile is a
I can
big
go
part
down
of
sit near the water with the bikers and the free thinkers. Let's quote unquote the free thinkers and talk about how the consequences of what we're doing to the environment. But I'm still always me. I never try to blend in. I think that's my
you
niche.
make the environment your own.
Yeah, absolutely. I command.
I love it.
I feel like a lion in a concrete jungle. Like I feel like everywhere I step, I'm comfortable, no matter where I'm at.
If we're doing analogies, I think my analogy would be, if you saw the end game where the Hulk he's a beast, but he's uniquely his beast within himself. He's comfortable being that beast, and he's not anything, I guess, deemed different from the environment. He allowed the environment to be unique to himself, being that beast. I think that's what kind of magnifies me. I have my unique qualities, but the beauty of my beast, of my drive, of my passion, of who I do and what I do for my community, but my method of doing it, I had to get my people in the scene of partying and like, oh, hey, I got 200 of y'all here, but listen, I want y'all to think about the cause of why we all here united, gathered together, and it literally takes each of us and all of us to kind of move as a magnitude whole. Yeah, we like to party, but think about being conscious thinkers and being there for each other, supporting each other, and getting us there. So I had to get them in a party scene to kind of manipulate them to go and, hey, we are conscious thinkers. Let's come together and maximize off of how all we are all making it in this environment.
One of my followers wants you to know that he specifically is the target audience for Caribbean food.
I love it. I love it.
I am a
You
target
came
market.
without food. That's your first no-no.
He lives down south, so you gotta expand quickly too.
Oh,
So
you see how we did that just
here.
now?
Look, I will be in Atlanta next month.
Chuck-
He's down.
Plug. We love
so
plugging
there you
each
go.
other. We love plugging each other.
Yes.
And I,
Drop your name so he can follow
My
you
name is
on
Denise,
Facebook.
It's Denisha Cake Desserts. It's on Facebook and Instagram.
spelled Nisha D-E-N.
Oh, it's DENISHAS, and then cakes is KAKE, and then desserts.
I want to take the moment to tell us about, we have an Eat Black Baltimore event where we highlight the Black professional chefs and the unique culture of the Baltimore communities. A lot of time we're in Baltimore and we say, hey, Baltimore sold this, Baltimore sold that, but you need to talk on the specifics of the uniqueness of Baltimore. And that's our culture, that's our people, and that's our food. Also our musical influence. So I want you to come down where I have live entertainment. I have food of our culture where we have different unique ethnicities on foods and how we interact as a culture, but we still Baltimore. I want you to come down June the 29th. We're from 12 to 3 at the Startup Nest
Yes. I think.
on 7th Avenue. You want us to tell you about how you influence.
Brandon? Yeah, he said he's looking for you now. By
Plan about the food.
No, nobody playing about food.
For me, Brandon was hard because my business is basically based on my name. My name is Robert A. Douglas.
Okay.
RAD is my initials, Radical Productions. So trying to figure out how people will buy in, right? But
I like that R&B.
That one time.
Small victory.
Something slight.
Gotcha. I felt
Nerds unite.
But I had to help people understand that it's not about me, right? It's about being radical, right? And for my little brother brought in, and he really like added another dynamic to Radical Productions. It really took on like making radical music a thing, right? And it's like, be radical, be you. That's the slogan for Radical Productions. Be radical, be you, right? So it has nothing. It's just who I am, right? I'm radical. I'm me. You be radical. You be you. And so the branding has kind of been, especially for YouTube, everybody feels a place. Everybody feels a part of that radical movement. It's just a radical movement.
I love the radical.
And so make sure you guys follow my YouTube page, Robert A. Douglas. Look that up. I'm considering myself the black male advocate. I sit down on couches with black and brown men intimately every week to talk about some really important things that's going to heal our community. So shameless plug, make sure you follow that.
What's your last topic that you talked about?
We talked about a friend of mine, or a guy that I know, a good friend of mine, who was falsely incarcerated and lost 7 years of his life for being charged with several counts of armed robbery. He was pulled out of his college classroom and arrested for a string of armed robberies he had no idea of.
And he did time.
He sat in jail for a little while, but then he ended up having to take a plea deal because, sitting in that trial, he knew that he was about to be convicted.
When they see us.
Exactly. So the title of that episode is When They See Us in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So check it out. It's a real dope episode. It just premiered yesterday, actually, at 6:30.
Okay.
And he talked about how he lost 7 years, essentially, of his life trying to,
he didn't do it.
He didn't have any idea. He wasn't even in the area.
So how was he targeted?
Fit the description. You gotta watch the episode.
Okay.
Let's talk about YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
I love everybody's doing
in January called Be More Like Us TV 410.
Okay.
Always got a time in it.
Yeah.
410.
Plug us in.
I have not uploaded a video since March because right after, like I said, we talked about it earlier. Right after my Baltimore Sun article, my life got crazy. I was in a commercial with Nike in March, then Reebok in April. It's just
I see you working.
out of control. So I do have another video. I will be uploading that on Tuesday, and I will be getting back on track. But the purpose of my YouTube channel is to encompass the people who you typically get overlooked. The hometown heroes, the up and coming people, and give them a chance to talk about how they are stars, in their own rights and individually. So if you're looking for something positive to look at, that's always positive. You never know what we're going to talk about or who's going to be there. Be More Like Us TV 410.
Okay, we all from Baltimore, right? So one thing, if you ever been on my show before, I think you been on my show before. You've been on my you've been on my show before. Okay, one thing I always like to talk about to make it unique to the culture of Baltimore. I'm such a Baltimore person. I want to shout out how Regina who hosted the BT Regina Hall.
Oh, you're talking about the
how she influenced the DC culture.
Yeah,
and
how they
the
brought about DC.
I love that.
I don't know the last time they did a DC tribute. I thought that was pretty dope.
And that was really dope, and how it'd be so close to home. But what I like to ask everyone is on my show is how you like your chicken box. I don't think if you're not from Baltimore, or if you are from Baltimore, one unique stamp that you have to is how you like your chicken box, okay? And it's one key word that you have to say for me to certify you for Baltimore, okay? And I'm gonna wait till everyone say how they like their chief point, how they like their chicken box. And if they don't say it, we going to X them on the Mahogany Brown Show. Breaking business down with Mahogany Brown. But first we're gonna talk about that Baltimore chicken box. So, hey, how you like your chicken box?
Let's see. I do salt, pepper, and ketchup with hot sauce and ketchup. That's how I do mine. And I have to have a half and half.
Okay. So how you like your chicken box?
My chicken box, seasonal, ketchup, half and half, or strawberry lemonade.
Okay. How you like your chicken box?
So,
fry hard.
Yeah,
My chicken gotta be fried hard. Sorry, don't forget that part.
Inwardly, I'm light skinned, so I got particulars.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on, let's all take it.
I don't play about chicken boxes. I really don't.
No, but go ahead. How you like your chicken box?
So I need 5 wings.
5.
I need all 5 of them fried hard.
Okay, talk to me.
I want salt and pepper on the chicken, but now not ketchup. Salt, pepper, ketchup on the fries. And I want the ketchup to like kind of get on the chicken, but not be on it, because it's gonna get soggy.
Yeah,
and it's gonna
not
make
too
me
much
mad.
ketchup. Right.
Right. So just kind of let this fries fall on top of the chicken. Yeah, I told you I'm light skinned
This guy
inside.
is hilarious.
So and of course I half and half, large half and half, a little bit of ice.
Okay, ding, 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 ding. Everybody that came on my show said my keyword. And what y'all think my keyword is?
Half and half.
Half and half.
Oh, yeah,
If you order a chicken box out of half and half, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not from Baltimore.
They don't even know what that is in California. You go to like California and say
Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
Okay?
They don't know what that
You're
is
not
in
from
North
Baltimore.
Carolina.
I
Arnold
love
Palmer,
y'all.
you're deaf.
Yeah.
And I think we connected in a different way because
Arnold
that's my
Palmer took out
key
that
word.
word.
You gotta
so
have
mad
a
when I
half
was
and
on that
half
state for that.
with your chicken box. I love y'all. I love what y'all doing in the Baltimore community. I want you to keep your head up. I need you to plug each of you individually so we can find you, where I can support you and watch you manifest and grow.
Can I just plug something real quick?
Of course you can.
Sure. My little brother's right here. He's here with me. He's my business partner. He goes everywhere I go.
Come on, little
Listen,
brother. Come on, don't say why you ain't sitting with us.
He's making very important moves on the Baltimore music scene.
We gonna smile in
you
here.
know.
Oh, that's engine. That's engine.
He's making very big moves on the Baltimore music scene. He's making some very
What you do? You rap or you
atypical
sing?
music.
Yeah, rap.
Okay,
You know,
spin us
but-
a couple bars.
Okay.
Off the top, or you want some?
If you sing, you gotta come on my show and sing.
Right.
If you rap, you gotta come on my show and rap. You gotta
Right.
go back
You
to
live,
the
live,
basics.
live, live, live.
This is what I did. You better ask about me.
Okay.
I just need a couple bars. I need to
okay.
know if you're a rapper or not.
Everything is manifested using my mind as a weapon. No interjections. No, I just stay up on my section. You already know, young Bink, he need a drink. I might need a shrink when I'm going off that drink. You better tell them think for they step correct. Because when you step,
All right, y'all gotta buy the single.
Yeah,
All right, so
that's
Father,
up
everybody
to
plug.
time.
I love it. Let's plug ourselves so we can rock out. Where will you find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Bink on the Lonely. I'm on Facebook at Crandall Creighton or at Bink. On Twitter at Bink.
All right, where can we find you on social media?
SoundCloud. I am Robert A on everything. I am _Robert_A. I'm on all social media platforms, particularly on. If you go to my YouTube, you have access to all my links. My YouTube is Robert A Douglas, and when you search me, you'll be able to get access to all my other links from my page.
Okay, it's going down with your girl Mahogany Brown. We broke business down with Mahogany Brown. I'm coming to you, the community, to teach you how to learn the fundamentals and the importance of business. You can find me on all social media platforms as Mahogany Brown. I'm sweating like a Hebrew slave.
Me too. It's your boy CEO Be Easy. If you want to follow my personal journey, you can find me on Instagram at CEO BEZ. If you're not interested in my personal journey, which is fine, you just think the clothes are dope, you can find me at Mr. Be Easy Forever, MRBEZ, the number 4, and then Ever EVER. And if you are interested in our nonprofit work, or you know somebody that needs shoes or shoe restorations or shoe cleaning, you can find us at Be More Soulful Kicks. That's SOLE, like the soul of a shoe. Be More Soulful Kicks on Instagram. But yeah, you can find me Twitter, Instagram, Snap, Mr. Be Easy Forever, or just Google BeMoreLikeUs.com and it'll pull up.
See, we all got a little bit of
love
light skin in
it.
us.
Everybody
He
do
like, if you
these
love me,
things.
follow me here. If you don't love me, follow me here.
It's okay though. It's okay though.
Nah, man, you don't gotta follow every page.
It's all right. You
Target
won't get that
market.
Right, absolutely.
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Denisha's Cake Desserts, and that's DENISHA Cake Desserts. And my website will be up soon. But if you hit me on Facebook, Instagram, I am one of those people. I actually do respond pretty quickly, and we'll get back to you. And my phone number and what else? My email is on there, which you can also contact me directly that way too.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I want us to shout out one inspirational word to give to my audience.
Word
To give to our
And can I
audience
say one
all
more
together.
thing just
Of
before you
course,
wrap
of
it
course,
up?
of course.
I just wanted to say, me being I'm only 26 years old.
Okay.
So me being around this and just listening to you guys'
You
conversations is really helping me.
Oh
out.
wow! Let's
You
give
know,
each other a round of applause. It takes this
because
conversations like these.
Before this, I didn't know too much about brand and copyright and LLC, and so now that's going to
Okay.
make me want to research and really gain more knowledge as I
That's
go
the
through my
point.
journey with this music thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Get
thank you guys
legitimized,
for that.
register, get you a business. Let them write a check. It's certain tables I learned I had to sit at. It's certain tables I can't sit at because I don't have my documents right. Learn what tables you can sit at and what you could do at that table.
Absolutely.
Melvin, I'll send you all the links to everybody. So we don't have any paper to write it down, but I'll make sure you get everybody's information.
At one time, I want us to yell out a word that represent us into business.
Radical.
Collaboration.
Gotta think. I ain't gonna just say it. I wanna make sure it hit home.
You gotta go flow. Radical collaboration.
Growth.
Growth.
Yep, I stole it.
I was gonna say hard work.
Radical collaboration, growth, and hard work. It is what it takes to make business possible. Breaking business down with Mahogany Brown. You seen it first. This is our first episode. I am so honored to have this $1 million team right here sitting next to me.
Absolutely.
I'm manifesting that law of attraction. I see you guys at the top.
Yep.
I love y'all.
Yep.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Bye.
I'll turn this shit off. I mean,
That was a good.
cut that piece off.
No, you can't. It's live.
It's already there.
That's so